Recording. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on our bi-weekly Strategic Education Moment series. This week we are featuring BMO, and we have two fantastic partners, Kuljit Sandhu, who is the mortgage specialist with BMO, and actually her vice president, Laila Nazar, who is just joining in today to throw in some tidbits of information and be there for support. So Kuljit and I have worked together for years, or known each other for years, back in our days at TD, but we've kind of gone different paths. So now Kuljit is with BMO doing a fantastic job helping out people there, and I'm obviously in the real estate world. So have stayed in touch and we work together. Kuljit is also one of our in-house mortgage specialists at our Edmonton office. So if you want to come by and see her sometime, you can book a boardroom. But that's enough about me. I'm going to throw it over to you now, Kuljit and Laila, and just, chat with us a little bit about what you're going to be talking about, and then feel free to share your screen and start going away.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Alex, for that nice introduction. And yeah, as Alex mentioned, we work together at TD. I've been in the banking industry for about 15 years, and 13 out of those 15 were at TD. And so I've been doing real estate primarily for about the last 11 years of my career. Have just been doing strictly mortgages, right? So I specialize in residential mortgages, rental properties, construction draw, whatever, all of that entails. So with that being said, I'm going to just share my slide. And I am in the office usually a couple of times a week, and I've been running into people, and I look forward to seeing more of you guys, over the next few months now that I'm going to have my office properly set up. I'll be there, just to answer any questions. If anybody has wanted to run anything by me, I'll be there, and you can feel free to call me or email me anytime as well. So I'll just take us through the presentation. We'll keep it quick and short, and then you guys let me know if you have any questions, and we'll take up the questions at the end.
Officially, your desk has been shipped from Montreal as of this morning. So the longest process ever to get a desk here, but it's on its way. You will have your space soon.
Yes.
You'll have your space soon.
Awesome. Okay, Alex, let me know. So we were just, we're having some technical issues earlier. Let me know if there's any trouble in seeing my screen.
We cannot see your screen.
Let's do it. Awesome. Okay. All right. So just like you guys making,
we
happy
can't
home.
see your screen.
Sorry, you can see it or no?
Cannot.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Okay.
The pressure's on, that's why.
I know. Look, Okay, let's see. Okay. Because I just want to present. Let's see.
Well, Laila, while Kuljit's figuring out her screen, why don't you talk a little bit about how you support Kuljit?
Absolutely. Thanks, Alex, for inviting us today. So super excited to partner up with you. So I've heard some great things. And it's funny because, I've been in the industry for about 25 years, and Kuljit came over a few years ago, and a fantastic addition to the team, knowledge levels at all, at every little aspect of things. Given the last year, it's just been very unprecedented, right? It was just very different. We didn't know jumping into March what was going to happen, but things just took off in May. With the rates being at an all-time low, there was a lot of traffic and a lot of inquiries around mortgages, and we found just things went on an incline, and it's still inclining, actually. So working with Kuljit, anybody that has any questions, because financing is not a one-stop shop. It doesn't one item fits all. Everybody comes from different perspectives of things. Their walks of lives are a little different. There's different situations that's happening. So please call us. Please talk to Kuljit. There's always an option or or advice that she can give you anything that you guys need moving forward now or into the future.
Cool.
Laila, I might get you to run the screen. I'm not too sure what's happening here.
Maybe get out, because you were in the presentation, maybe just log out of the presentation part of it, and then try and share the screen on where you did before, and then just go log in like you did last time.
Okay, now you're
That might,
asking.
that might solve the problem. Who knows? Otherwise, that's why we got Lyle. We got some.
I know, you know, I have my backup. I'll let Lila run them just because I don't want to take up too much of everybody's time while I'm struggling with this.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's just see if I can share my desktop here.
All right, we're on a screen.
Okay, we're on a screen. I know you might be seeing background, but I think I'll just roll with it if everybody's okay with that. Are you able to see my screen now?
We're seeing someone's screen.
Okay, might be mine.
Yeah, we're seeing your screen, Kuljit.
Okay, sorry about all the background. I'll have it figured out next time, and maybe Alex and I can do a tech session when I'm in the office next time. All right, so yeah, just like you guys, making happy homeowners is all of our common goal. And let's see here. Okay, so as I don't know how many people know this, actually, BMO is, I think we are the oldest bank. BMO's been around since 1817. You know, in the banking industry, we've got over 45,000 employees all across the board and about 12 million customers and counting, and managing about 728 billion in assets. We offer, of course, like a wide range of products, just like all of our other competitors do. Like, we've got the mortgages, we've got the home equity line of credits. On the personal side, we've got accounts, credit cards, loans, line of credits, all of that fun stuff. Our mortgages do come with some of the unique features that I know some of our competitors don't offer, and especially now more than ever, a lot of our customers have taken advantage of the features that our mortgages offer when it comes to family care option. That's like if you are sick or you're taking care of a family member who's sick and you need to skip your payment because finances are a bit tight, all of our mortgages come with that option. Mortgage cash account is another one, which could be almost like a presentation on its own. Basically, and I'll dive into that a little bit later on in the presentation. And we offer options like skipping a payment or take a break option. These are all the features that are being offered on top of the payment deferrals that were announced earlier due to COVID. And one of the partnerships that we're really, really proud of is BMO is the official bank for the Canadian defense community since 2008. And we just renewed a 10-year contract earlier this year, where we have unique banking needs for anybody that's in the armed forces, veterans, our DND civilians, RCMP members, and Canadian Coast Guard and their families. They basically get best of BMO. So if anybody's dealing with anybody from, any of these families that we're helping out, they get our lowest rates, and they get a break when it comes to penalties or whatnot, and they also get free banking with us. So if anybody's dealing with anybody from RCMP and military, those are usually the people we come across. None of our competitors can beat our rates just because we are the bank for them. So we've got special offers for them. Another one that I know some of you might already be dealing with brokers or whatnot, but we have access to builder cap rates. That just means, a lot of people, any lender can do a builder mortgage when the closing is within 120 days. At BMO, we have options of securing clients' approval for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, up to 36 months on condos. Basically, all that means is that if somebody's buying from a builder, generally houses aren't ready right away. So we can have their approval validated to whatever the timeline is that the builder tells us. And what it provides for the customer is it's peace of mind for them that their approval is validated. We're not going to need to do new credit check 4 months down the road. We're not going to ask for new income documents down the road. If we get your approval done now, all we simply do is, as you get closer to your possession, we'll take a look at what the going rates are at that time, and we get them out of like a builder cap rate, which is typically a little bit higher rate compared to what the going rates are in the market once they're within the 120 to 130 day window. So it's really nice for clients to know that they are not going to need to provide documentation and new credit checks or whatnot, especially I think now more than ever before, where people had been laid off from jobs and stuff, right? And then, it takes you some time to find a new job. And then when you find a new job, sometimes you're on probation with your employer. So if we get a builder file, rest assured that we won't need to do a new credit check, ask for new documents, unless client initiates any kind of change, right? If they ask for a different term, or if they want to add upgrades, or if they want to change something on their mortgage. But if they're just simply going, hey, I booked my house with a builder 12 months ago, my possession is in 4 months, what can you do for rates? We got them approved 12 months ago. All we simply do is we just kind of rebook them into a lower interest rate because now they're closer to possession. So that's the gist of it. Again, this is something we could probably spend an entire session on if anybody wanted the information. Another one that I know comes up is rental properties. And I know quite a few of you deal with a lot of clients who have multiple rental properties. And we actually have one of the nicest and easiest rental policies out there compared to a lot of our competitors. So the big question that we get a lot of the times is how much rental income can you use? So we can use 100% of the rental income. So if somebody's buying a, let's say, principal residence and they own a rental property, BMO will use 100% of the rental income. And we only take off very legitimate expenses off of it. We take off a certain percentage for vacancy, their mortgage payments, their property tax, and heat expenses. We do not have to take off repairs and maintenance and management fee that I know some of our competitors have to. So, and the other thing that's nice with BMO is when we do a rental offset on a property, if clients have, let's say their rental property is bringing in positive income, we can use that income to help them debt service the application that we're doing for them, which is also different from some of our competitors. And even if people have a lot of the times what happens is sometimes when they have multiple properties, the properties end up bringing in negative rental income just because the expenses surpass the income that the property is bringing in. The way we do it actually is when we take a look at the rental properties, we do the analysis, and let's say the rental properties are bringing in $500 negative rental income. We do not have to add that $500 as a liability that some of our competitors do. We just take that off of the qualifying income. So in the end, it ends up having a lesser of a detriment compared to if you went into, let's say, for example, I'll use TD as an example when I used to be at TD. So a lot of the times we save a lot of files, especially when people have a lot of rentals, because of the way we do the rental offset. Their overall financial picture with BMO looks a lot better than if they weren't trying with BMO. So I would encourage anybody, if you guys ever run into a problem and client couldn't qualify because they have multiple rentals, give us a shot, just because of the nice rental policy that we have. And I'd be happy to spend more one-on-one time with anybody who deals with a lot of people that have rental properties or just have questions. Feel free to stop by the office or call me. Mortgage cashback. This is something super unique to us. There's not a lot of banks that offer it out there. Again, this could be a presentation on its own, but we are allowed to offer clients cashback when they're buying a property or even when they're renewing it or at the early renewal stage. It comes in handy a lot of the times when people are, let's say they bought a house and they used all of their savings for the down payment and they've got nothing left for going forward as a safety net, right? We can add mortgage cash back to their mortgage and it's no hassle. It's simply what it does is it impacts their interest rate, but they can get the cash back. Other times when this comes in handy is sometimes when we're transferring, let's say clients want to transfer their mortgage from one bank to another, and the property, the equity isn't there. Let's say the equity falls short. We can use cash back to kind of pay off some of their other debts or whatnot as well. Even at early renewal. So if somebody's, let's say, a BMO client and they need to renew their mortgage, but they need some extra money. They're not going to always have equity in the property, or sometimes people don't want to pay the fees or go through the approval, or they can get approval from a bank due to many reasons, right? So that's usually when we've done cashback for clients. Like the highest cashback that I've done for somebody was $45,000 because they were using all of their savings for the down payment on the house. Then they had nothing left, and then they had a family emergency came up while we were doing the purchase for them. I was able to add that $45,000 cash back to their mortgage, and then they got that money on closing day, and then you can do whatever you want to do with it. there's like this one for sure can be a presentation on its own. I would love to spend more time on this one, but I just wanted you guys to kind of know that this option is available for your clients as well, and it comes in really handy. A lot of people love it. Mortgage cash account, something super unique. I don't think any of our competitors out there have it. A lot of banks have this feature only for people when they put 20% down and they get a home equity line of credit, then they get this feature. But with us, a client can get a house with as little as 5% down. And let's say they run into some extra money. They got a bonus or something for $10,000 and they want to put that on their mortgage. They can do that as a lump sum. What it does is that lump sum builds a mortgage cash account inside their mortgage. Let's say 6 months down the road, they run into some sort of an emergency and they need access to that money. They can take that money out of their mortgage. We add the $10,000 back to their mortgage principal and they get to borrow it at their going mortgage interest rate. This feature with majority of the other institutions is only available if you put 20% down and you get a home equity line of credit product. So with us, people can have this even on an insured mortgage. And this one again comes in really handy because people sometimes like they just have the money sitting in their account doing nothing. So what they'll do is they'll do a lump sum payment onto the mortgage, and then they know if they ever need access to it, they just have to walk into a branch and they can get their mortgage cash like the next day into their account. So this is a really cool feature as well, and a lot of people at BMO take advantage of it. Lastly, that's it. I know I shared a lot of information. It was, you guys know I'm here. I am available outside normal banking hours, work Monday to Sunday pretty much, and I'm not tied to a branch, so I can set my own hours. I can meet clients wherever it's convenient for them, their house, their office, or our office. Do a lot of meetings at Tim Hortons at on Sundays or Saturdays if that's what people need, right? So that's what I'm here for.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kuljit. I'm going to let this slide just stay up here for a minute. We do have some more time, so if you want to dive in more into one of the products that you were talking about, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, or yeah, which
up to you. You got about 5 more minutes. You can talk about any one of the products, and then there'll be a couple questions and answers afterwards.
Okay, which one do I want? I think I would just, I think I would love to, like, I think mortgage cash account, we kind of went over it. The cashback is another one, but like, we'll just do that one separately. I think builder would just be a huge one that I would just say, like, we're seeing a lot of activity, right? Like people are choosing to go with builders sometimes versus buying something that's resale. So I think that's a huge feature. I think people can, and I don't know how many people are dealing in the builder market, but I would say that's a really unique one where we can have the approval validated up to 12 months and people don't need to requalify. Yeah, I don't know. Now I can't pick a favorite.
If I can add something, Kuljit, just to let everybody know, and I know a lot of the lenders out there, but we're going to be having a Black Friday sale. So it's probably like a week or two. So we're going to be having some leading rates for certain terms for individuals. So this is a really good time if you want to do a pre-approval, because we do a rate hold of 130 days. So keep that in mind. All you have to do is just visit Kuljit. She'll do an application. We have platforms in place where we do everything over the phone. Your privacy is there. So everything is in check if you don't want to, due to COVID and whatever restrictions you may have. It's really up to you. Kuljit will tailor to you. If you want to do it over the phone, we're more than capable to do that. We'll do something similar to what we're doing today, or a simple phone application to do any inquiries. But just wanted to kind of highlight the features that are coming up over the next couple of weeks. And interest rates are just, like I said, they're going to be a leading rate in the market. So please, call Kuljit or just inquire about that upcoming rates and promotions as well.
Cool. Now that I unmuted myself, I took away the screen share, Kuljit, so it's the three of us again. Do have a couple of questions here for you. One of which was on the rental, your rental policy. So if you're looking at buying a rental, or using your existing home and turning it into a rental, what are the qualifications or approval on an upcoming lease? So I sign a lease for my place for when I move out into my new house. Is it the same 100%, or is it based off of previous history?
So if it's a new, like if you're just converting your principal residence into a rental right away here and it's a brand new lease, all we do is we just do market rent, where we actually send out an appraiser to give us their opinion as to how much the house can rent out for, right? And we'll use their number versus whatever the lease is. So, but we'll still, we'll use 100% of the rental income on the previous property. But if you were purchasing a rental, let's say you're buying a rental, you own your house and you're buying a rental and rental is the subject property, then we use 50% of the rental income and 100% of the associated costs. And you have to be able to debt service it. But if you're converting a previous house into a rental, we'll use 100% of the rental income, take off the vacancy, take off the mortgage payment and the property taxes and the heat. And whatever the end number is, if it's a plus, we'll add it to your qualifying income. If it's a minus, we'll take it away from your qualifying income.
Okay, so if someone's buying an existing rental property with an existing tenant, it's 50% of whatever that lease is.
Whatever that, yeah, exactly, yeah. Because it's a subject property, then it's only 50%. But with BMO, what they would do is, if it's a strong file for total debt servicing, I know most banks tap out at 44%. We can take it up to about 50%. I've done that on a lot of files. We'll take their debt servicing up to 50%, provided that the client is strong. They've got a lot of assets and they got fallback, right? So, because we always want to make sure they're not stretching themselves too thin. So yeah, but I've done a lot of files at 50% total debt servicing ratio.
Okay. Next question here is about the mortgage cash account. Is that standard with all BMO mortgages, or is that a specific mortgage product that allows that?
All of our mortgages allow that. Every single one of them, unless they're into a home equity line of credit product, then the home equity line of credit has a revolving portion, but all of our fixed rate mortgages have the mortgage cash account option.
Okay, and last question here is about the builder policy. So sometime like someone's doing a long-term build, a year, or what you were saying, 36 months for a condo. Does that, I'm assuming, the question is, I'm assuming that then they would have to be on some sort of builder list, or could it just be any particular builder?
We can we basically, so we have an ongoing list. So we'll onboard, like we do onboard every time I do a deal. If the builder is already on our list, we'll just go to our list and kind of add their builder ID. We assign it to every single project that we onboard. But if I'm doing a deal, let's say, and that builder is not on our list, it's a super quick process. It takes us about 24 hours to get them onboarded, and then we can work on the file. So generally, I kind of do it simultaneously. We'll get the builder onboarding process started right away. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to get that information from the builder. Then we send it to our builder group, and then usually the next day, sometimes even the same day, they give us the builder ID. Meanwhile, we're working on the file, then we attach the builder ID, and then we send it off to our adjudication center.
And Lila, this one's going to be for you, and this is from me personally. Does BMO itself have a realtor referral program? Because I know some lenders or major institutions have some sort of program. If an agent sends enough referrals to, then it goes in and all that. And does BMO have that type of product or service as well?
That's a really good question, Alex. So nationally there is, but due to RECA rules, so they've restricted us a bit in Alberta. So when you cross borders, it's fine. There's different regulations that they follow, but due to Alberta, we do have some RECA restrictions. But we do have some creative ways to do that. So you and I can talk offline about what we can do as collectively as a partner. So we can do a specific brokerage, and we can look at the volumes, and we look at that potential. And then what we do is we bring in, the leaders to be upstairs and give them a proposal. And it just looks a little differently because we can't pay per transaction, Alex, but we can really work with the relationship in general. So you and I can discuss that further. So absolutely.
Cool. Well, one benefit of having you on. There we go. Get to meet each other now. So that's great.
Oh, and Lila, Alex is looking to recruit realtors as well. So if you know somebody that needs to jump ship, we're trying to get more bodies into the office.
Absolutely. For sure.
Thank you, Kuljit. So thank you to the both of you so much for joining us. Everyone that has been watching, thank you so much for watching and being with us today. This is going to be saved on YouTube and on our Facebook group. So if you do have questions, I will insert Kuljit's contact information there as well, which is already on the last slide, which is fantastic. So thank you so much, Kuljit. And thank you, Lila, for joining us today.
Thank you for
And
having me.
happy selling, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.